Hello, I'm Victor Sandoval. I've served in the Marine Corps for nearly 30 years. Upon graduation of high school, 1 week later, I joined Marine Corps boot camp, where I chose the occupational field of aviation electrician. During that span, I rose to the top level of avionics chief and at headquarters Marine Corps. Currently, I find myself navigating the transition process to civilian life. Imagine spending 3 decades of your life where your purpose, the uniform you're wearing, and your day-to-day process being controlled by one massive organization. Only to one day wake up, take off that uniform, and try to find your identity, who you are without it. Today, I'm going to brief you on the realities of the military to civilian transition process and how veterans bridge the gap between the military and civilian culture. We will examine the disparity within the military entry and exit training, the cultural challenges that veterans face, and the supplemental steps required to succeed. Let's begin by looking at the stark contrast in our training timelines. Entering the Marine Corps is a highly immersive 13-week process. Boot camp completely strips away your civilian habits and replaces them with strict military conditioning. We are taught military bearing and the direct bottom line up front communication style. Conversely, the formal exit process, regardless of whether you're 4 years or 30 years in the Marine Corps, is a 1 week transition readiness seminar, or TRS. This seminar focuses on the logistics rather than the cultural adaptation. Furthermore, the military lacks institutional mentorship for this process. Why? Because everybody that's already transitioned has left the Marine Corps, thereby taking all the knowledge with them. This brevity in exit training creates unique hurdles in the civilian sector. The lack of cultural deprogramming often leads to civilian workplace culture shock. As highlighted by 2021 Pew Research Center report, nearly half of all post 9/11 veterans feel or say that the transition is somewhat or very difficult, largely due to the sudden loss of military identity. Veterans struggle to translate this military jargon. Additionally, our stoic, non-verbal behaviors can easily be interpreted as rigid or unapproachable by our civilian colleagues. To overcome these challenges, veterans must build their own transition plan. This brings us to what I call reverse boot camp and supplemental steps. Veterans must rely on the extended timelines and external programs which the 2022 VA transition guidelines emphasizes that a successful reintegration requires planning from 12 to 24 months prior to our separation date. Organizations like Hire Our Heroes offer corporate fellowships that provide hands-on civilian experience before a veteran leaves the active duty. Additionally, veterans must actively practice communication accommodation, intentionally adjusting the tone and the language to foster a collaboration in the civilian workforce. In summary, leaving the Marine Corps or the military extends far beyond a 1 week course. Today, we explored the disparity between the entry-exit training, the culture shock that we often face, and the necessary reverse boot camp steps transitioning veterans must take. We trained tirelessly 13 weeks to earn the title of United States Marine Corps. Becoming a successful civilian doesn't happen in a 1 week seminar. It takes a continued, personalized reverse boot camp to earn that success all over again.